Hello and welcome to The Reasons I'm Broke. I'm Daniel,
And I'm Kelly.
and this week we got a lot of good stuff to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and start off with Avengers vs. X-Men, round 12 or issue 12. And this is the final issue in the 12-issue series of Avengers vs. X-Men. It also kind of kicks off a little bit of the Marvel Now stuff that they're going to be doing. And I ended up getting the variant cover, which has Magneto and Iron Man both fighting. And you can kind of see Iron Man's armor is ripping off as he comes after Magneto. So it was a good issue, a good ending. You finally got rid of the Phoenix. You see Hope finally defeat the Phoenix. Cyclops is arrested, and it leads into some of the Avengers and X-Men series that's coming up. So I do recommend it. If you've been following, you might as well finish it off with number 12. You see how it all ends. Also, we got Futurama number 63. This one is by Bongo Comics. This is going to be my pass of the week. What did you think, Kelly?
It's my pass as well. I'm not huge on the Futurama comics. I think they're entertaining, so if you just want to blow some money, I still wouldn't even pick this one up this week.
Yeah, basically what happens is the crew is taken to a planet where they're saying that it is like a robot heaven, right?
Pretty much. It's a robot paradise, but organic beings can't go there because supposedly the atmosphere is so acidic that they'll just dissolve in a matter of minutes. So they all get transferred into robot bodies.
Right, you see Fry and Leela and Zoidberg all in robot versions of themselves. And it's a little bit funny, but overall not worth getting, I think.
No.
Moving on to DC, you got Green Lantern number 13, and this kicks off the Rise of the Third Army. We ended up getting the variant blank cover. It's a sketch cover. You can get your favorite artist at any comic book conventions to draw something up for you. And you also have the regular cover included on the inside, too.
I really enjoy this one. It's still got the new Green Lantern in it. I forget his first name.
Simon Baz.
Simon Baz. And I think they did a better job with his character than they did in the last one. You really get to see how his actions are affecting his family more than just himself. He's in jail. Okay, cool, whatever.
I absolutely agree. You can relate a lot more to Simon in issue 13 than you can in Green Lantern number 0. And at the very end of it, to spoil it a little bit, you kind of see Simon ends up being confronted by the Justice League. So it leads up to something pretty cool in number 14, I think.
Superman's mad because he's going after his man. Next we have Legends of the Dark Knight number 1. What did you think?
It's got 3 stories. It's made up of 3. I'm going to say I don't think it's in continuity with the regular Batman stuff, the New 52. These are regular stories, original stories by a bunch of different authors and artists. And I don't know if you want to talk about the first one.
I enjoyed that story a lot. I don't know if it's really... Okay, just to kind of spoil it, Batman's only been Batman for 6 months, and he's talking to Alfred, and he's real cocky, and he's going, I have no weakness, there's nothing that can take me down. Probably how Batman really did act when he first put on the cape and cowl. He just felt he was this invincible being, and it's Alfred showing him that that's not true, which ultimately I think would save Batman's life down the line.
I still don't think Alfred would punish him this severely. I guess if it would save his life, fine. But it was kind of fun seeing the arrogant side of Batman.
Yeah.
And then the second story had Batman going up against Amazo, which was probably my second favorite time that they've fought each other, right behind the Justice League episode where Amazo's like, this man has no powers. Batman's like, no, but I've got this. Then he pulls up the kryptonite. That was really cool. But in this, he fights Amazo. It's a lot longer. He kind of outsmarts him. He knows exactly what he can do. My favorite line in it, I can't remember exactly how it goes, but it's something like, he goes, Amazo has everyone's powers, but he has one weakness. He doesn't have mine. And I'm like, oh yeah, Batman.
Yay, Batman. And then the third story, just skip it.
Yeah, it was awful.
I don't even remember what it was. It was that bad. Blocked it from my memory.
Yeah, Robin and Batman try to stop a criminal from carrying out a plan. And their theory is, let's stop the crime at the root before anything ever happens, before anyone gets hurt. And the guy says, well, my little girl is sick and I need to do this for her. I need money. And it ends with Batman going, well, work it out. And he leaves. And I'm like, well, if this was the animated series, Batman would find a way to get him a job at Wayne Enterprises and
then Bruce Wayne would have poured more money into figuring out how to cure her and all of this stuff.
Or how to develop his neighborhood a lot more.
I do like the aspect of Batman where he does try to stop those criminals before they become criminals. Like the one Justice League animated series episode where he's really tough on that guy, but that's so his kid doesn't have to grow up without a dad.
Yeah.
And now the kid's not going to turn to crime either. Like, he just stopped a whole line of would-be criminals because he was super tough on that guy.
Yeah, we're going to wait and see how the Legends of the Dark Knight goes. I would still recommend the first issue because those first 2 stories were pretty good. Plus, when this originally came out years ago, we had the introduction of the venom that Bane eventually uses, and that originated in the original Legends of the Dark Knight series. So hopefully something cool like that happens in this, where they'll use something that comes out of this and maybe incorporate it into the New 52. I think that'd be awesome. And then our pick of this week would be Batman Detective Comics number 13. Kicks off a new arc involving the Penguin. Go ahead and let them know what you thought.
I thought it was really good. This was the series that had Scarecrow before, and I didn't like it then. But I thought they turned it around with number 13. It was really good, really intriguing.
Detective Comics had Penguin before. The Scarecrow was the Dark Knight, and it's still going with the Dark Knight.
I lied then, guys. Detective Comics has always been great.
The past couple issues of Detective Comics with the Penguin, I wasn't crazy about. You had one of the girls that was infiltrating the Iceberg Lounge, and there was nothing too interesting going on. But in this one, Bruce Wayne is a target of the Penguin to get assassinated, and at the same time, Batman is stopping. He's stopping all these crimes in different areas that are meant to distract Batman while Penguin takes down Bruce Wayne so that Batman doesn't take down the assassin that takes down Bruce Wayne. But obviously, Bruce Wayne is Batman, so they're all like, where's Bruce Wayne? He's late. Meanwhile, Batman's taking down all these criminals, and he's like, Nightwing, go over here and take care of this guy, because this is all to distract me, and I need to make it to this event to open up the new wing in Wayne Memorial. Well, what happens is, Penguin ends up giving a larger amount of money or a larger donation so that it gets named the Cobblepot Wing.
Well, he threatens the guy a little bit too.
Right.
It's not just here's this money. It's Penguin wants recognition like Bruce Wayne has. He wants to be remembered for something good. But whereas Bruce Wayne does it all out of generosity, Penguin's like, here's this money and a knife to your throat. Make it happen.
Yeah, there's some really good Batman lines too. Good action sequences and Batman Detective Comics number 13. I think my favorite line is when he's fighting one of the assassins, he's like, he would make a great sparring partner, but I just don't have the time. And he knocks him out. It was really cool. And let's go ahead and talk about some television that we saw this week. DC Nation?
Green Lantern, the animated series, I think we touched on a little last week. It's still good. The next season, I think, is starting out great. They're facing the Manhunters.
Right, Hal Jordan has put this team together now, made up of Kilowog himself. They got Aya. I can't remember who else it was.
Oh, I just forgot his name. The fish guy with the beak.
Yeah, you guys are gonna kill me because he's big. He's a big Green Lantern. And this week's episode ends on a cliffhanger. Keep watching Green Lantern the animated series. It's shaping up to be something bigger. You got the Manhunters in this too, and they keep running into them. They're still an unstoppable force. You got the Guardians that are behind it, of course. It's good stuff.
You also have a little bit of a love story for all of you out there who are watching just for the love story like me with Aya and Razor. Razor's out of the picture right now, but I'm excited to find out where he is.
If you want to talk about Young Justice Invasion, since you like it a lot more than I do.
I do. Point. I really like this series. Again, we talked about it a little bit last week where the first season had more of a kiddish feel. And now suddenly it's 5 years later and destruction of the world and everybody hates everybody and is killing everybody else. It's great stuff. But we saw more of the plot that's happening, the deceit sort of where Aqualad is trying to infiltrate the light, which is made up of all the big villains. And then there's doubt put in Nightwing's mind where is Aqualad really on our side, or is he a triple agent, or who knows what's happening, and more people get kidnapped, and it's just craziness going on.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Yeah, you're liking it a lot more than I am.
But I'm also waiting for Superboy and Martian Man Girl, whatever, to get back together.
Blue Beetle was really cool.
He was hilarious.
Since they have introduced him in the series, they've toned down, like, the Hispanic part of him. Like, when they first showed him, every sentence, he's like, "No, amigo.
He did.
We've got to find this essay." And I'm like, that is not how we talk.
You were really mad. And then now that it's gone, you're like, what happened to it? He was one of my people.
Well, now he's replaced by that awesome inner voice of the Blue Beetle, who's always, like, giving him this advice, like, just murder all these guys.
Just kill them all. Go ahead, set off the bomb. But all my friends will die. Well, you'll live. It's okay.
It's cool. We're going to live. So that's one good thing I like about the Young Justice. Ultimate Spider-Man, I really enjoyed this week. Captain America leaves his shield with Spider-Man, Iron Fist, and the rest of the crew. And he's like, well, don't play with it. Of course, Spider-Man throws it, goes out of the shield helicarrier, falls down, ends up in Doctor Doom's place. And it's just, I think what makes this show really good is the breaking of the fourth wall and all the little jokes that they put in. Doctor Doom wants the shield to analyze it, find out what exactly the vibranium is made out of, so you can make an entire suit or
any weapon or anything that's going to be essentially indestructible.
Exactly. And you got this really cool bit where it cuts to Doctor Doom, and Spider-Man's like, I thought this was going to be easy. Doctor Doom is cowering underneath Captain America, going, I just wanted to play with it.
I'm sorry, Captain America.
Here's your shield back. It's so light. So it's good. I really like the Ultimate Spider-Man. It was really funny. Following the premiere of last week's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on Nickelodeon, you got I guess you would call it the third episode, because the last one was
a two-parter.
A two-parter, right. This one kind of had a little bit more of the same. One of the bad guys gets covered in the ooze, and he gets transformed into this big spider. The main plot of it, I think that's more just to have some action in the episode, but the main thing that's going on is Raphael is learning to control his anger, because Splinter taught him that the angrier you are, when you get emotional, your fighting gets affected. You need to think with logic and reason. I think he told him you need to solve this with reason, not with anger or violence or force. And by the end of it, Raphael learns that he's got to let insults wash over him and just focus on the task. And that's how they end up stopping the one guy. I think they called him Spider Bites, because he's a spider and he bites.
Oh, Michelangelo.
Your favorite.
He is.
It's still really weird, though, that Donatello is voiced by the Raphael in the 90s cartoon. Like, I still hear Raphael, but I see Donatello in this, which is cool that they, he's involved in the Turtles in some way. But I still hear Raphael, but it's a good cartoon. Not as good as last week's. I have hopes for this.
It has good morals for your kids. It teaches, and that was one of my favorite lines this week that Splinter pointed out was, the words do not become weapons until you make them weapons.
That was pretty cool.
That was awesome.
You played Sonic Adventure 2 HD, which released.
I did. That was one of my favorite games back in the day. And it looks really nice. The controls still suck. I used to be amazing on the game, like A's on every level. And I played through, I'm like, I did so good. And then they're like, E. I'm like, oh, crap. This sucks. But it was still good. It was fun to relive my childhood. Will I have enough time to go back and beat it? Probably not. I'll let my brother beat it, and then I'll just play the levels that I want.
I used to like Sonic Adventure 2, and I have good memories of it, but I know if I go back or download it or buy it, I'm going to realize how broken the controls were, the levels. I even remember there were times where I'd be running as Sonic or Shadow, through one of the little speed circles and whatnot, and if you deviated just a little bit, the character would just fall through the floor. Not even like he would come off the path. There'd just be this glitch where he'd just fall off the floor and die, and that was it. And that used to frustrate me when I was younger, but not enough where I'd stop playing. And now I know I'd be like, screw this. I don't need to play this. I'm going to go finally finish Infamous 2 or something.
It was still good, though. It's only $10, so if you guys are all interested, $10 isn't that bad for a full game.
Yeah. Something else coming up. Again, Dishonored. Looks really good. Can't wait to play it. Dragon Ball Z for Connect, for anyone that's still playing their Connect.
Can you, Kamehameha the screen and it works?
I'm sure it does, yeah.
Yes! We need an Xbox.
And Vegeta will still be one step behind you.
Poor Vegeta.
Mass Effect 3 Retaliation. You get new enemies. It's a multiplayer expansion. It's for free. You get new class kits, new hazard versions of existing maps, and new weapons because the collectors are in it. You get the collector's weapons as well. If you're still playing Mass Effect 3, the multiplayer, which I have a lot of fun with, they did a good job with the multiplayer, I think. Download the free expansion, why not? More weapons, can't complain. And then you also got XCOM Enemy Unknown. Black and White 2 came out, and I know you've been playing it. I haven't had time to play it yet. What are your thoughts so far? We're going to be kind of following Kelli as the weeks go by and
That's my
seeing
journey.
what... Yeah.
I will not action replay for you guys. I will play this thing through to the end. I enjoy it so far. It's a Pokemon game. It's the same that it's always been. Your rival isn't mean anymore. That's my only complaint. I like back in Silver where you go talk to him because he's like creeping by a window. And he's like, get the hell away from here. And he kicks you and you go flying. That was fun. But now he's really nice. I don't know. He's like your best buddy.
And then you say they get permission from your mom now?
Yeah. The first scene. Like, of course, Professor Juniper is who we have again. And she goes through the whole, are you a boy or a girl? What's your name? Do you want to go on this journey? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. And then you see your mom walking and she gets a phone call. She's like, oh, you want my kid to go on this journey? Yeah, that's cool. I'm like, no, I'm leaving. And you're going to be okay with it because that's what you did when you were 10 years old back in the day.
Yeah, I think in Blue and Red back then, it was just something kids did, right? Oh, it's now time for your journey. And you'd be gone.
Well, that's what happened with Ash in the show, too, on his
10th birthday.
10th birthday. Mom was like, okay, here's your bag. Enjoy life. I'll see you later.
Yep.
And I guess, I don't know, I guess the villains got worse, and so parents can't let their kids do that anymore.
Have you reached the first town yet?
I did, and it was all instructional. Stuff that I already knew. It's, okay, here's how you catch a Pokemon.
Can you skip it? Did they give you that option?
No.
Really?
Yeah. It was terrible. It goes really fast. Like, she hits him once, and it's not like when you played Red and Blue, and the guy was like, okay, my name's this. And here's a Pokemon. And now we hit battle. Like, she goes really fast. So you can tell that they assume that people already know, that people already have previous experience with these games, which I think everyone in the world does now.
Yeah.
It's still really good. I have named my rival Vegeta, and my Snivy is Piccolo. So we're going on a Dragon Ball Z journey. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So has the beginning been different enough from Black and White 1, or is it pretty much the same?
Is any Pokemon beginning different from any other Pokemon beginning? It's still, I love Pokemon games. I will always play Pokemon games. The difference for me is going to be, of course, it's a different story, supposedly now. You go backwards through the towns from what I've heard. Plasma's different, so that's I think going to be the main difference. The other thing that I'm curious to see is you have a legitimate rival now. In the last one, you had your two friends who you fought sometimes.
Yeah.
This rival is your friend, but he's also, you get your Pokemon and you battle him, and he's like, oh man, okay, you beat me. It's not the same as fighting Pokemon in the grass. I'm going to go fight some now so I can get better than you. And then he's gone. So now you're chasing after him, trying to give him a map, because his little sister's like, oh, he forgot his map. So I'm sure I'm going to fight him again soon.
Right.
And hopefully you feel that dread when he walks out, like you did back in the day.
Well, we'll be following you again. I'm going to be playing it, but mine's not going to be reliable at all, because I'm going to action replay me a Bulbasaur as soon as possible. And yeah, that automatically ruins the experience that will be Black and White 2 for me. It won't be illegitimate, but... I need that Bulbasaur. He's number one for a reason, everyone. Best one. We didn't have time to see Frankenweenie this week, but we did see Taken 2 last night. And as excited as we were for it, it was not good.
It was terrible, guys.
It was not a good sequel. It was not a good movie.
I will say, as bad as it was, I don't regret seeing it because it was Liam Neeson.
Right.
I will see anything that Liam Neeson is in.
Would you say...
forever.
How would you rank Unknown, The Grey, and Taken 2?
Like, from best to worst?
From best to worst.
Oh, man. I'm going to have to go, The Grey was the best, because it scared me. And then I would go Taken 2 and then Unknown. Mostly because Taken 2 just had those few lines. That's just what set it over. Were those few lines where you either laughed or you're like, yes, I wanted him to say that. And he did. Like, when he turns to his daughter and goes, I'm going to do what I do best. I'm like, yes, kill people.
And you're just waiting for it, yeah.
Yeah, you waited for that through the whole movie.
Pretty much the plot is he invites his wife and daughter out to Istanbul.
Which is already stupid.
It is. After what happened in Taken 1, I don't care if you are Liam Neeson, you're going to be watching over them. There's a group of people out there that are looking for you, and you quickly find out, and you still had this idea of just bringing them to this country that's not stable it's not as stable as just staying home where he was. The father of Marco from Tropoia is looking for him. And he's like, you killed my son. And I'm going to kill you next. And your family. And Liam Neeson, he goes, your son took my family.
Took my daughter.
That's why I killed him, yeah. And he's like, I don't care what he did. And I was like, well, fuck this movie now.
This father does not see reason. When the father goes on and on about how I'll never see his face or hear him laugh, or I'm like, well, Liam Neeson was never going to do those things with his daughter either, and that's...
I don't know what the whole thing was. I mean, that's one of the problems right there. Another one, there's this part where Liam Neeson's trying to figure out how far away from the hotel is where his daughter is. She didn't get captured. She was not taken. She avoided being taken. Let's try to say taken as much as possible here.
He and his wife his ex-wife were the only ones who were taken.
Right. And they kind of set it up so that they were almost going to get together too at the beginning. I did like that they didn't just cut into it like I thought it would be in the trailer where they're just together now.
Together already. Yeah.
No, he's trying to still work out this relationship with her. I don't know why, because she wasn't the nicest person. If you've seen Taken 1,
person.
I don't know. Anyway, he's trying to figure out how far he is from his daughter. So he's like, go in my briefcase, find these grenades,
and throw
them outside the window. Make sure there's no one around, though. She throws the grenades out, and he kind of listens on the phone, and then he listens to his surroundings and counts the number of seconds before it reaches him. He measures sound. And I was like, oh, like, that's really ridiculous on its own, just throwing a grenade out. And she threw it really far. There's no way a girl, supposedly 17, played like a 20-something-year-old, was able to throw it across the parking garage if you actually watch it. But he has her do this 2 more times. She's just hurling grenades across the city.
And no cops ever show up. Ever.
Like, that was just one of those parts. And I'm like, the thing about Taken 1 is it was a little bit over the top, but not to the point where someone throwing grenades around the city and someone as smart as Liam Neeson wouldn't have his daughter do that. There's one of those things that contradicts everything in the first one is, she's like, no, Dad, let me help you. I really want to help you. And Liam Neeson would go, no, you're going to get to the U.S. Embassy. That's it. I will find my way out of here. Done. And then you'd see Liam Neeson, kick ass the rest of the movie.
And get out of there.
But no, they try to develop this girl's character, and it doesn't work because he's like, okay, fine, and I will give you these instructions that are going to jeopardize your life. Liam Neeson would never do that. He would find a way to get out.
The moment he said, okay, you're going to pull out this map, and she'd be like, okay, and you're going to go to the U.S. Embassy. That's exactly what he would have said. And then he would have hung up on her.
No, but instead we get this scene where she throws the gun down the little chute so he can get out of the place that he's tied up in. He leaves his wife there, and for some reason the bad guys don't kill her because they're like, well, he's gone, we might as well kill her. No, let's just keep her around and take her with us and slow ourselves down while Liam Neeson tries to get us. And him and his daughter in a car chase, and she's driving, and he's shooting at people, and she's crashing into all kinds of things, which should have gotten...
They should be dead.
They should have, yeah.
But the taxi didn't take that much damage, so it's made out of adamantium or something.
Liam Neeson wouldn't have been dead. Definitely his daughter, though. She was...
And then she doesn't even have her driver's license. And he's shifting, but she's not using the clutch, so I don't even know how that works.
That was a bad... This whole movie's full of that. Just a lot of bad action scenes. The fight choreography is not good. Mm-hmm. I was not enjoying that. The first one, you see Liam Neeson, you see everything. You see him like take down these guys, break arms,
bones.
And you hear the sound productions like it's like an action movie. You hear those bones crunching. You see these people flying off and getting shot. And this one, when he's fighting them, there's a lot. It's real silent. There's like a subtle soundtrack to it. And then when he hits them, it sounds more like slaps or light hits like it would in real life, but you don't want to hear that. You're going to a movie, you want to hear those, the loud punches and the cracks and all that, and you don't get that in Taken 2. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of cutting as well. I don't know how their budget was in this time, but maybe they had a different choreographer, someone that didn't want Liam Neeson doing as much, and instead they're like, well, let's just do a bunch of camera photography or camera tricks. And
I got nauseous.
There's too much terrible cutting. You don't see any of the cool action scenes that you did in the first one. And then near the end, he fights this guy that it's supposedly, I guess, the one big hurdle that he has to overcome. In the first one, he fought the guy with the knives on the boat, and he gets stabbed a couple times. But Liam Neeson goes through the window and catches him. It was really cool. I really liked that last fight in the first one. But in this, he fights another guy who's 3 feet tall, and somehow wears Liam Neeson down even more, I think, than in the first movie, even though he was stabbed twice. And in this, he fights this 3-foot guy and barely, ends up killing him and whatnot.
How did he kill him? Did he drop him on his head? Is that what happened?
No, he had his knife, and he kind of put it in his heart, and then he twisted it.
Oh, see, it was moving too fast. I couldn't even see.
He killed a bunch of guys like that, too, didn't he? Like, just put his hand on their face.
He really didn't kill that many people. Like, every kill was unique in the last one.
Yeah.
This one was not. Like, when he put that lift through that guy's face.
Oh, that was cool.
With the car, that was amazing.
But in Taken 2, I think the most unique death was when he puts the gun through the hole that the guy's peeking through, and you see it in the trailer, and he's dead.
Yeah.
When he kills the last guy, he goes, look, he's like, I'm just tired of this. I'm tired of all this fighting. If I kill you, your sons will come after me. They will try to take my daughter, and then they'll try to take me again.
She will be taken.
I'm tired of being taken, so I'll let you walk, and you can be with your kids, and no one will be taken. So he puts the gun down, and then the final bad guy's like, well, no, screw this. I'm just going to shoot him. Like, you kind of see it, and he picks up the gun that Liam Neeson just dropped as Liam Neeson's walking away, and he pulls the trigger, and of course, spoilers. Not that this movie, oh no, you're spoiling Taken 2, but...
oh no.
He pulls the trigger, and it's just a click, and Liam Neeson holds out his hand, and he has the bullet that he had in there. He did that to see if he can trust this guy, if he would betray him, and he doesn't, so he grabs his face, and he shoves his whole body through a faucet or something and kills him.
Dies instantly. No pain, just, ugh.
So I guess that means there may be a Taken 3, but they did say this was the last one, and I hope it is the last one.
I hope so.
It was awful. It was not good, guys. Don't watch it. Pretend this one doesn't exist, and just enjoy Taken 1. Taken 1 was great.
And there were so many things that they hinted at that would have been great that they could have gone with. Like, Liam winces all the time. Is he getting too old? Is this too hard? Like, I know it's only been a year, but did those injuries from the last one affect him now? With the first one, okay, he took down a big money ring that was happening. Did that bring attention to what was going on, and now that's being stopped, and now all those people are pissed? So many things they could have done, and they just kept it, very light. They didn't dive into anything deep. It was just have him shoot some people. Yeah,
exactly. And there were more moments in it than any regular horror action movie where you're like, well, just shoot him now, or why are you hiding in this little room, bad guy, and you don't have a gun when you know this man's taken down every single one of your guys? You're just going to throw his wife in this room and then have the 3-foot guy fight him, and then hopefully he'll kill him? No, you could have shot him the whole time when he was fighting him. But no, you're going to cower here in this little
bathroom
corner. It's just...
bathroom. Or, even all the daughter's psychological problems that she mentioned once.
Yeah.
How do I be normal, Dad? And now you're driving through the city and shooting people, and you have absolutely no problem with these people chasing you and trying to take you? No, you'd be a mess on the floor.
Not only that, but they drove through the U.S. Embassy. It just went through that booth. These soldiers are shooting at them, and he makes a little call to his friend. He's like, make sure they don't shoot us when we get out. And his friend's like, yeah, no problem. And I was like, okay, he's got connections. They're not going to shoot him when he comes out of the car because he just crashed through the U.S. Embassy so that his daughter is safe. But then it cuts to him later running around the streets again of Istanbul, and I'm like, there's no way they would let him run around willy-nilly just killing everyone.
Get her.
You're going to go kill more people and steal more cabs, and you shot a cop. There's this part where these police arrive, and what were they, corrupt or something?
Yeah, well, you don't know. You see this random cop come out of nowhere, and he calls somebody on the phone, and you flip over to the bad guy, and he picks up his phone. So, yeah, okay, I guess they're on the phone with each other. They never say anything to each other, so I don't know. And then Liam Neeson just shoots the cop.
Yeah, he sees the cop. It wasn't just a cop. He had like an overcoat. This was like some kind of promoted cop of sorts.
He was the negotiator.
Oh, man. And Liam Neeson just blows that guy away. Done. Avoid it, guys. No Taken 2. Don't watch it. No. We'll be watching Frank and Winnie. At least I will. Hopefully this week. We'll talk more about it next week. Also, if some of you are wondering, before Watchmen, the Rorschach issue, we'll be talking about that next week, as well as the other Before Watchmen show. You'll get 2 Before Watchmen reviews from us, not just the one. And then Kelly will keep talking about Pokemon Black and White 2.
Gonna go play some more right now before work.
Follow her on her Pokemon journey to become a Pokemon master. I'm gonna go cheat and get a Bulbasaur.
I'm gonna catch them all the right way.
But once again, follow us on Twitter @ReasonsI'mBroke. Let us know what made you broke this week. #ReasonsI'mBroke. Once again, I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.
And thanks for listening.